Yo, what's up guys? Quick Siege video playing ValaarDohaeris and Partekus or something, I don't know. A guild I haven't seen before, so still a bit early season, so you have some more random matches sometimes. We did make a mistake though, which is like an underestimating mistake, so let's call it that way. And you'll see in the end what I mean with that. So this team, normally I do this with the Poseidon, but in the case of Triana, you kind of have to use Zyro. So just a simple win. The main thing is also with that team that your Tiana and your Galleon have to do damage. If they don't do damage, then it's pretty shitty. So my typical team, oh man, look at juicy damage. Look at that juicy damage. This team is currently performing a bit worse on defense. I guess people are getting more used to it, how to hit it. But in offense, still an insanely good unit. Aw. It's funnier if Rogue actually kills. Maybe I should try to add more damage to Rogue. Because if you add more damage to Rogue, the moment he kills, he goes for the team up. Team up also means that you get more bombs and everything. So having more damage on that Rogue is actually pretty nice. So another typical team I use. Against this, it's a little bit tricky. Because if you don't get attack buff, you're probably not going to one-shot the Triana. Or are you? Can we one-shot the Triana? No, Triana is hella tanky, and that was resisted, which was not that good. That proc right away, which was also not that good, so I couldn't go attack buff. In the second round, that thing was resisted, and therefore we got that issue as well. Stun there, which is not that good. A heal, yikes, 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 yikes. So was this a good team against this? Not really. Not gonna lie, it was not really a good team. Could that have worked? Yeah, I would say probably 50-60% of the time it would have worked, but in this case it didn't. Simple as that. But yeah, moment they proc once, like technically Garo has a chance to solo this whole thing. But the moment they proc once, I'm just hella dead. And with those stuns, I cannot do the life drain. Oh, this is so close. I still have potential to win this. No critter. Okay, proc there. Yes, sir. This still has potential to actually win. Okay, I do have the buff D-block, but yep, one proc and you dead. But this still had potential to win. Garo is actually really good, like 1v3 units still. But the issue is if you proc once, or if they proc once, it's kind of done for. So then my typical team, do I also use it against this? Yes, I do. Even if they S3, I'm not that afraid because everything is max resistance, and as long as you have max resistance, you can spam this team in so many things. I prefer to kill the Carcano because he has more like random-ish, like high damage. He does have reduction from water, I guess, but in the end, it doesn't really matter. And this, like, look what this does. Like, it armor breaks one, woohoo. Even if you would kill this one, like, this one is hella tanky. They still struggle to kill it. I have more heals coming up. It just takes a little bit. And you easily get there. Even if Mo Long dies, I've shown this like many times. Even if Mo Long dies, I still tend to win. Even if Bolvik dies, I still tend to win. I haven't had it much that Amelia died, and then I still had to fight. I'm not sure how that will work out, but Amelia most of the time is mostly one of the other dudes that die. Amelia doesn't die, I don't know. And this was a bit of a new-ish team. Haven't seen this before, but didn't use my twins yet, so why not? My twins currently are not that good ruined anymore because we don't use twins on defense. At least it's no longer a main defense because of the Carcanos, of course. And Carcano twins are not that good on defense in case you care about that. So my twins have worse runes than they would normally have because I put my best runes, of course, on defense and then whatever comes afterwards. So they're not as flashy anymore, but still, it's pretty much a safe win. So this is also one of those meta teams which works as long as your Rika is like tanky enough, reduction from fire, which helps out a lot. Small issue which I have with this team, which I'm not sure if I should or shouldn't. Jean is on Nemesis. Because Jean being Nemesis, she will pretty much always outspeed the Kakano by being hit by what's called Savannah. So you cannot provoke the Kakano in this state. So you would have to use non-Nemesis on Jean to actually get that provoke on Carcano as well, which I think is actually better, because then you have the armor break and whatever who's being shot by Carcano different. But in the end, I don't have that much trouble with it, but that's something you can think of to not make it Nemesis, because you will always outspeed the Carcano, and or Carcano's arm will. You know what it is. Okay, so then a bit more of a new whatever tryout team. There's 3 units in this scenario there's 2 units in this scenario that will always hit Miho, but Miho is also focused by Carcano, so technically we have 3 units that, because he puts the armor break on it, so then we have 3 units. So my Miho is not 100% rest in this case. It was a little bit tricky because the crit fix makes it that things don't crit as often, but still, it was pretty doable. And then also the moment that these units get off, Leica was maybe not even the best use here, but Carnal did work out pretty well. And actually Miho pretty much destroyed this team rather than anyone else. But yeah, works out. Could it have been tricky if they missed a critter? Could have been. But the thing is, which is good about Miho, if they miss a critter, they probably also don't kill. Then a team I've never seen, and also a team I've never used in this stage. So actually, I'm not using... Before, I was always using Savannah with twins. Okay, this thing just went 3 times, lol. Normally, I was always using Savannah with oracles. Currently, I still have Savannah runed up pretty good, but I don't use her at all. So, well, might as well use her a bit again. Resistance on that, resistance back, which this helped out quite some. And Harmonia is a decent tune. I actually built Harmonia pretty recently. Healing music. I'm not sure how good Bella is on defense. I've seen more people use Bella on defense, but the issue is Bella, so the cannon girl, she spams her S4, which is a terrible skill, or S3, I don't even know what it is, but she spams the skill that is not that great. So for that reason, there's actually in Aftermath EU, there's a guy that has Bella non-awakened, which is also an option, non-awakened Bella, to actually not have it spamming like the wrong skill. It's an option. Was this team a little bit tricky? Yes, it was. Because currently, if I get an armor break, I might hella die. Because those snipers do too much damage for no reason. So at some point I was like, okay, what is better to hit? The Triana, which I probably don't hit much. Yikes. That's why you have reduction from fire, boys. That's why you do the reduction from fire. So yeah, the Praha is also not in the best state that Praha would have been in before, but it's still a decent build. It's still a pretty decent build. And Harmonia is actually just pretty leftover offensive rune. So, was this a good offense? No, not really. Well, Praha actually does does a lot of like work with like just S1s. I'm also pretty sure. Would I win the Praha against this Triana? I think that my Praha would win this Triana in a 1v1 actually. It would take like an immense amount of time. But I'm pretty sure my Praha does more damage on S1 than his does. And the thing is, if he heals, it's a slight heal. If I heal, it's like full HP heal. So depends if I get a lot of sleeps though, that might be bad. But the main damage comes from artifacts anyway, so. But in the end, with Harmonia there as well, it's pretty easy. Yep, you get how it works. Yay, support fights! Yeah, some of these fights. So then my final fight, which was Sierra plus Twins, which you don't see too often. It's not that difficult to beat it, to be honest, if you just go double bomber plus wind tank, or double bomber plus light tank. If you don't land all bombs, it might be a little bit tricky. Your light tank is also just there to eat damage, and that's about it. Yep, that's it. Not too much crazy stuff to it. So in the end, we got 9 wins and 1 lose. And this is the mistake we made. We went for FFA too early. FFA stands for like free for all. And we started pushing in really far. But ValaarDohaeris and Partekus both had a lot of wings left. And they start cutting us with the 2 of them. So we actually had to reconnect the cut here to actually make it work. But still, as you can see, like we captured the 4, the 10, and then we reconnected that. Then they cut by the 1, and we reconnected it by the 2 and the 6, and then we had enough to. They were ticking more, but they had to like catch up like 9k to actually win, and we only needed 1.2k, so that was pretty easy. But we went for a free for all a little bit too early. So for any of you guilds out there, that might be a mistake you could make. Learn from this one. We did win in the end, but it was pretty. I think they ticked a lot of points like back before we actually won. So that was it. Wait, I think I also showed my contribution. So for contribution, my defense did pretty decent. Max I could have gotten was 10 or 210, which means that I had 12 defense successes and 1 offense lose, which means this amount of points. So guys, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.